The first law students walked through the doors of the new Monash Law School in 1964. And this year we celebrate 50 years of professional and international recognition as one of the world's top law schools.
I was present at the creation in that the late Peter Brett and I were two volunteers who put our hands up when David Derham was appointed as Dean and said he was going to have first year law teaching start in 1964. In 1965 I was appointed as the first professor in the law school, and in a variety of senses I've been there ever since. David Derham wrote a plan for a new law school and then set about putting it into practice. And what he managed to do was to instill in us, his colleagues, who grew as the years passed, the willingness to do everything we could under his leadership to bring it about.
I remember that two pieces of equipment were fundamentally important: gumboots and a torch. Paths were unmade, you used to have to walk through the mud, and at night there was no lighting, so you needed a torch. Those were two of the things. It was a long way from everywhere, and you felt as though you were in the country, and it was called the farm in those early days. It was a very homogeneous group. It was very much in contact with what was going on. And within a few years it was obvious that the direction of the faculty was to include practical teaching of what may happen to us when we went out into the real world. I have an abiding memory of that first lecture delivered by Professor David Derham, the Foundation Dean, on the 9th of March 1964. He started by telling us that really we had to take what the faculty was providing on faith. At the time of that first lecture, the course had not been approved by the Board of Examiners or the Council of Legal Education. And I think that probably started the creation of a collegiate sense of purpose and achievement, both with the staff and the students, which I think endured and probably endures to this very day with the character of the faculty as it is.
When I started at Monash in the law school in 1967, the biggest difference was there was no law school physically. There was no building. It was built the next year. So we were in the engineering faculty. Monash was at the centre of a fairly strong anti-war demonstration, anti-Vietnam demonstration. Most law students who saw themselves as budding conservative lawyers didn't want to be part of that, but a few of us did, and I was one of them.
The course had been designed by Louis Waller and David Derham and was, in my view, probably the preeminent approach to studying law in Australia then and now. I think my time at Monash had an indirect influence on what I've been doing lately, and that is because Louis Waller really impressed me with the fact that law is deeply embedded in society, and unless it's working for society, it's simply missing the point. In some law schools, you get the impression that the law is an abstract entity that hovers over society and does things, but with Waller it was very clear that law was deeply embedded in society. And I have to say, Louis Waller is the best teacher I ever had anywhere, anytime.
We came to a broad open space and we built a law school, a living, breathing institution which from the very beginning set out to achieve the highest standards in learning, in scholarship, in research, in teaching and in community service.
Happy 50th, Monash. It was good being there at the time, and it's really good being back. I wish you well.
It's a great pleasure to congratulate Monash Law School on 50 years of existence.
Well, Monash, congratulations. You've aged better than I have.
It's a great day when we celebrate the Golden Jubilee of the Monash Law School. I hope that the next 50 years will be even better than those that have passed.